Hey there tech fans, Rick here again with another review, and today I have the DJI Air 2S drone. And in this video, I'll give you 5 important things to keep in mind whenever you're comparing one drone against another so you get the best value for your purchase. Now the Air 2S is a brand new drone from DJI. It's been on the market for about 6 months, and it's based on previous generations of their Mavic products. It's currently their best mid-level drone. It's not the most expensive drone they released, and it's not the least expensive drone they've released, but it's right in that Goldilocks zone where you get a ton of features for a reasonable price and includes pretty much everything you'll need to get up in the air and have a lot of fun with the drone. But these 5 things are good criteria when you're comparing one drone against another, again, to make sure you get the best value. And I'll start off with flight time because that's one of the main things people ask me about drones. How long can it fly? And I think what they're asking is, if you charge the battery fully and you pop it in the drone, how long can it stay up in the air? Well, the Air 2S can fly for 31 minutes on a fully charged battery. Now, you're not going to get 31 minutes of flight time because there's wind up there. Depending on how you're flying, it's going to eat a little bit more of the battery energy. But in essence, you're going to get 20 or 25 minutes of air time, which is phenomenal for a drone. A lot of other drones that advertise longer flight times may include a battery swap, which when you think about it means you've got to bring the drone back, land it, pull out the battery, put the new battery in to fly it again. With this one, you can stay up in the air for, again, 20 or 25 minutes, so a lot of flight time out of the drone. The next consideration has to do with signal strength, which directly relates to how far away you can fly the drone. Now, a caution I have is in the United States, we have a visual line of sight requirement, which means you technically can't fly the drone further than you can see it, so you always have to keep it in your line of sight. And with me, I can fly about 2,000 feet before I lose sight of the drone. Even something as big as this gets lost in the clouds after 2,000 feet. The important thing to note, though, is this drone can technically fly 12 kilometers away, which is a really far distance away. It's well beyond visual line of sight, but the reason that's important is because the signal strength between the drone and the controller means that in flying close, even if you're around a lot of obstacles and a lot of interference on Wi-Fi, you're never going to lose the signal from the drone because there's no more of a panic moment than when you're flying your drone and you're watching the first-person view on your tablet, to lose that signal because that drone is downfield somewhere and you may not have control of it anymore. So some of the other drones on the market may only fly a couple hundred feet or a couple thousand feet at most before they lose the signal. And that's kind of a scary thing because, again, if you lose sight of the drone and you lose feed from the drone, you have no idea what that drone doing. So knowing that the Air 2S can fly 12 kilometers means I'm going to have a rock solid signal in close, even if I'm flying around trees and buildings and I have a lot of Wi-Fi interference. So the reason they can do that is it's based on a proprietary DJI technology called O3 or OcuSync 3, which is smart enough to actually bind with the drone and the controller and constantly search for new clean signals. So if the signal it's communicating on starts to decay, it can switch to a new frequency and maintain that solid connection. So you're never going to have connection issues with this product. The next thing most people ask about, because you're putting a camera up in the air when you buy a drone, is how good is the camera? Well, the Air 2S includes a 1-inch sensor which can record 5.4K video at 30 frames a second or 4K video at 60 frames a second, which is almost like strapping a DSLR on your drone and putting it up in the air. It's absolutely phenomenal footage. It takes wonderful pictures as well. And it also has a 10x digital zoom, which means if you're flying around wildlife, you can stay pretty far away and still pull in nice and tight in that snowy wet egret out there in the swamp. So it's a great drone for photography. A couple other things that are important to me have to do with safety. Now, this drone is built to be incredibly safe, and what I mean by that is the technology inside the drone is constantly looking for issues. So if it has a battery issue, or if it loses signal or signal gets a little bit sketchy, the drone will actually take over control, turn around, and fly right back to where it took off. So it's got a return to home feature built in that you can trigger through the remote, but the drone can trigger it as well. So if it feels like it's in a situation where it really can be dangerous for the drone because the battery's getting really low or it's got kind of a sketchy signal, it'll take over and fly back and land right where you took off. So what a nice feature that is. One other key feature that DJI built into this Air 2S is a thing called Adsb. Now, ADS is an automatic detection system for other planes. And when you're flying this up in the air, you can fly it up to 400 feet, and planes have to stay above 500 feet. But if you're at the shore, you're around some of the visitor sites where the sightseeing planes come by or helicopters come by, they can be under that 400-foot ceiling. What Adsb does is detect the beacon from that plane. Every plane that's up in the air and helicopters emit a beacon, to locate it in the air. This will actually pick up those beacons well out, miles out, and on your screen, you'll get a notice saying airplane nearby, and it'll actually tell you in what direction the airplane's coming from. And that's a huge safety feature, because if you have the drone up at 300 feet and all of a sudden from around the corner a helicopter comes whizzing by, you want to make sure you get your drone out of the way. And having Adsb gives me plenty of notification that that airplane or that helicopter is nearby. This is one of the few drones in this price point especially that has that kind of feature. I don't know of any other major drone manufacturer at this point that's including Adsb, and that's built in for free on the drone. The last thing I wanted to mention was the software and the artificial intelligence, because drones are a lot of fun to fly, and this drone is incredibly stable in the air. The first time you put it up, if you're flying it around, you take your thumbs off the joystick, it's going to stay right where you left it in 3D space. It's not going to drift like the other drones. But learning how to fly the drone and to do things like circle an object and keep your focus on an object, or get that beautiful shot where the drone ascends away from you like this and gives you perspective in the background, is really tricky to do. It takes you a little bit of time as a pilot to master those skill sets. Well, the software that comes with this has buttons you can hit. It has selections you can hit to actually do those things automatically. So the artificial intelligence in the drone allows you to pick a point you want to focus on, push a button, and have the drone circle that object and keep that object in perfect focus, or fly away from that object and keep it in focus, or boomerang around the object and keep it in focus. It also has active track, which means you can train in on an object. Say you're on your bicycle or you're on a motorcycle, you can focus on you on the motorcycle, put the drone up, and have it follow you. And you can make all kinds of turns. It's going to stay on top of that particular focal point and make sure that it follows you, capturing some amazing footage out there in the wilderness. So those are two really cool features. In addition to that, it's got a product built in called Master Shots, which will take videos you've done and edit those for you automatically. So if you want to post to one of your social media channels, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, wherever you like to post your videos, it'll actually compile that video for you, add music in the background, and produce a completed video that you can immediately post to your social media channel. So the software and the artificial intelligence built into this drone really make you like a phenomenal producer the day you put it up in the air. And the best thing is, everything you need to get started is included with the kit. So all you have to do is charge the battery, register your drone, and literally in 15 minutes you can have it up in the air and flying and really enjoying the drone. So I think, again, the Air 2S from DJI represents the pinnacle in consumer drones at this point, especially at this price point. And I just think it's a phenomenal drone for anybody out there that's excited about flying. So hopefully you found value in the clip. I really like doing these kind of technological overviews, and I think the drone's fantastic, and I think you'll really enjoy it. So thanks again for watching, and until next time, stay nerdy.